What's up, everybody? My name's Isaac, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Stats. And it's a very solemn day for all us Chiefs fans, as I'm sure you're well aware if you've seen anything in the NFL right now. This man has a torn ACL, and he will be out for the rest of the season, and hopefully not part of next season, but you never really know how long these injuries take to recover from. He could be gone for like a couple weeks next season as well. Either way, I don't think he's going to be up to par, like up to full speed, ready for the next season either way, so I don't know. Sorry if I sound a little sick, by the way. I am kind of a little sick. So this video is late, not because I didn't have time, but because I was just lacking motivation to make a video on the NFL, because I didn't think it would get worse for us, but apparently it can. So, yeah, the Chiefs are eliminated from the playoffs officially now. I knew they were going to be last week, so I didn't even really bother to talk about it. I will be doing yet another Chiefs rant, but I feel like that has kind of become like a segment of these videos. It's like you got your game rankings section, your power rankings section, your prediction section, and then you got your Chiefs rant section. So I guess we're going to be doing that. I think now that like Mahomes is out and the season's over, I'll make like one more Chiefs rant video maybe at the end of the season. But I will still be doing these standard like week-to-week videos, but I want to do a playoff, like full playoff predictions once that comes out, and then a game rankings for every week. I think actually I'll do the game rankings like the week before the Super Bowl, so I can like compare like the playoff weeks as well. So that one will be later, and then I'll have my favorite players' performances. I think that should just talk about regular season. I'm gonna be honest, because like playoffs, like they don't count towards like regular stats, so they probably shouldn't count towards that either. So I'll do full playoff like predictions, and then I'll do my favorite players, how they've done after week 18 at some point, like before the playoffs. And then yeah, the final game rankings will be after that. So those are all the non like base videos. This is the base video where I do power rankings, game rankings, predictions. Those are all the non-base videos that I have planned. I might do some other stuff, but we'll see. I don't have my football, so I don't have something to just like play around with, but I still got my whiteboard, so that's cool. We're going to start with game rankings, and then after that, I'm going to go into power rankings, which I have made a little bit of a change to the way I'm doing power rankings from here on out, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So, your blowouts for the week, your not good games, we have Cleveland, Chicago, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Las Vegas, Philadelphia, Miami, Pittsburgh, Arizona, Houston, Jets and Jacksonville, which like those are less blowouts, but they're still blowouts, so I'm still counting them anyway. And then Tennessee, San Francisco. I don't know if Tennessee, San Francisco was necessarily a blowout. I didn't really see much of that game. Let's see here. I think. Okay, I mean, they weren't really in it. It wasn't a close game. I wouldn't necessarily call it a blowout, but it definitely wasn't a good game. Number 9, so here we get into like the actually kind of close games. Number 9 is Minnesota, Dallas, which I think Minnesota had a like pretty decent lead for most of the thing. Dallas kind of came back into it at the end, but wasn't able to get it done. Washington, New York, which ended in a one-score game, but it was kind of like last-ditch effort by New York. It wasn't really close from them. Washington kind of just won. Number 7, I had Green Bay, Denver. Obviously, Green Bay also had another devastating injury. Micah Parsons going down with his ACL injured. You never like to see that, but the game itself was pretty fun. Like, Green Bay was able to come out strong, but Denver made the comeback. Maybe I'm a little bit biased against Denver, so that's why I have it that low. But for now, that's where it is. Number 6, I have Los Angeles, Kansas City, which is only this low because it was so low scoring. Like, feels like just every Chiefs game is so low scoring because their offense freaking sucks. And yeah, it was just not a great game. But like, it did have a decent ending. Gardner Minshew coming in throwing a game-sealing interception when it could have gone to overtime if they had held on to the ball. But even in overtime, I thought we would have won. Number 5, you got Carolina, New Orleans, which ended on a walk-off, pretty much field goal. So that was cool. You always like to see those games, but overall it wasn't super entertaining. Tyler Shuck had like one of his better games, I'd say, but other than that, I don't know. Number 4, I've got Buffalo, New England, another comeback game. This one I think was a little bit more entertaining to the average person, but not for me because I don't like Buffalo. Number 3, We've got Indianapolis, Seattle, another more low-scoring game, but it was fun to see like Phillip Rivers do his thing. Um, Seattle was able to walk out of it with a win, but like obviously you don't like to see games where it's just like a bunch of field goals. How many field goals did they have? Did they miss an extra point or something? Or did all the points come? Did all the points did come off field goals for Seattle? You know, honestly, maybe may make me place it lower below Buffalo New England, because like, bro, who wants to see only field goals? Like, come on. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter. The only ones that really matter are the number one games. Number two, we have Detroit and the Rams, which was probably the most fun game of the week. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I mean, you love seeing like two high-powered offenses kind of go off. Unfortunately, Jahmyr Gibbs didn't really do much. It was more just kind of Goff, Amon Ray. I always call him Amon Ray because I think it's funny, but it's not. Yeah, Goff, Amon-Ra, and Williams just kind of going off, and then the rest of the team not doing much, and the defense like selling. And then also Stafford was fun to watch. You know, my guy, Lion and a Ram. So you know, got his jersey recently, so that was nice. But yeah. Fun game to watch, but unfortunately it wasn't super close. If it had like ended a little closer, then I think it would have been number one, but it didn't. Like, the Lions were the last ones to score, and they like were down like 2 scores and trying to get it, but weren't able to get it done, so had to choose that. And then number one, I have Thursday Night Football, Atlanta and Tampa Bay. Yet another comeback game. Atlanta was able to get back in it and win later on after going down like 2 touchdowns. And on a last-second field goal from good old Zane Gonzalez, they got it done. So those are your game rankings. And now we will get into power rankings, which I have changed up a little bit. I was going to do this before, but I had forgotten to do it. But from now on, this is kind of something I just said I was going to do. It's not really being lazy or anything, but from now on, all the teams that have been eliminated from playoff contention or from like just in general, they will not be included in power rankings. So if you're eliminated, you're off the power rankings. So I don't have to be subjected anymore to the Chiefs being below number 20 on the power rankings. So that's just great. But yeah, so all the teams that have been eliminated have been cut off the power rankings, and that means we're going to start at number 19 now. So number 19, I think the worst team that is currently still alive for a playoff spot is Tampa Bay, moving down a spot, which is kind of impressive considering, like, as long as you're in playoff contention and you're below number 19, you're going to get bumped up. So for them to move down and be still at the bottom of the power rankings is kind of crazy. But they just keep sliding. They've lost a whole bunch in a row. Like, at one point, I don't remember exactly where they were ranked, but they were ranked like either number 2 or number 1, I think. Maybe number 3, I don't know, because they had a game against Seattle, and like the winner of that game was like considered to be one of the best teams. And Baker Mayfield was being talked about as being the MVP at one point. I remember that. Like, I don't know, that was quite a long time ago. And then similarly long ago, number 18, we got the Colts, which just by like the truncation of the list have moved up 3 spots. I mean, they've looked better, at least defensively, than they have in weeks past, but like, they still don't look good. Like, Phillip Rivers, I don't know if he's the guy that's going to lead them to the playoffs, but it's fun to see him play, and I kind of would like to see him make the playoffs. That'd be funny. Now that the Chiefs are out, I don't really care what happens, so it'd be funny to see him make the playoffs, so I think that'd be cool. Yeah, moving up 3 spots, I still don't think they're great, but they're still in. So, and they had their time being 7-1, being like the consensus like number 1 team, having the best record for a while. It was good while it lasted. Number 17, we have the other NFC South team, and it's depressing that one of the teams that is not even in the top 16, not even the top half, is going to have to make the playoffs, that being Tampa Bay or Carolina, because Carolina moving down 4 spots into the number 17 spot after losing to the Saints. Like, what are you doing, bro? One of these teams has got to win. I don't know, actually, whether Tampa Bay and Carolina play each other, like, still to go in the season, because there's only, like, a couple weeks left. Okay, they play each other next week in week 16. Yeah. And then do they play each other again in the last week, or what? No, they do. Yep. Tampa Bay, Carolina, they play each other in week 18, so that'll be interesting for sure. It'd be interesting if they like split those games. I kind of don't want to see that as like the Sunday night game, like the last game of the season for like a playoff spot. I know they always do that. Like if like these two teams are battling for the playoff spot, they'll put that at the last spot. But like I don't want to see two AFC South teams playing in the last game of the season. Like that's lame. I don't know. Either way, number 16, we've got Dallas moving down 2 spots after a pretty rough loss to the Vikings. Honestly, maybe they should be lower, but they've shown enough flash throughout the season, at least offensively, for me to like still put them above the other 3 teams. I still think they're good, but their playoff hopes are, I think, the lowest out of any of the remaining teams, so I don't think they really have a shot. Number 15, we have Pittsburgh moving up a spot because, why not? I mean, I think they're destined to go 9-8 again. Like it's gonna happen, like it does every year. It can't be avoided. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's not much for them like better than it was before. So no real reason to move them up a whole bunch. They only beat the Dolphins after all. Number 14, we've got Baltimore moving up 5 spots. Finally had a good convincing win. I now probably have them winning the AFC North again. What is their record though? Hold up. I gotta check though, because I think they have a worse record now than Pittsburgh. Another division where it's just like the worst team is gonna win. Okay, they're 7-7, so they're a game behind, and I think they lost to Pittsburgh, so maybe it is gonna be rough. They're gonna need to like win out or be good. They're facing Patriots as well on Sunday night. Ooh, that's a rough one. But I mean, Patriots got negative momentum. We'll see what happens. Who do they face in week 17? They do play the Steelers in week 17, so that could be a potential like game. And then they play the Packers in week 17. Ooh, maybe the Steelers are gonna win. I don't know. Yeah. Either way, I feel like Steelers going like 9-8, 10-7 is like guaranteed. Regardless, moving up to number 13, we got Philadelphia. They remind me a lot of the Philadelphia from 2 years ago, or whichever year they lost in the first round to the Buccaneers. I think that was 2 years ago. Like, they remind me a lot of that team, like kind of collapsing at the end. But we know they can be good. We know they can be bad. And right now, I don't think they're the best, even though they had a pretty good win. It was against the Raiders, so like, what can you really pull from that? I still think they're going to make the playoffs, probably, and they're still going to like do something in the playoffs. I don't see them. I mean, maybe they'll be a first-round exit, but like, I don't see them being a first-round exit because I mean, at this point, they're going to win their division. Yeah, I think they have a shot. I don't think they're making the Super Bowl again, but like, I think they're okay. Number 12, we have, unfortunately, the Detroit Lions, and man, just like the schedule's been rough on them, and now they've got like a really low chance of making the playoffs. I would have loved for them to win. I really never could have predicted the Bears' success. Like, I didn't know that they were going to do that. It feels like they were like so mid at the beginning of the season. Then they just caught fire and have won so many like games in a row now. They're playing the Packers next week, who I think they just played. Yeah, Packers won against them last week. So, I mean, there is that. I don't think the Packers are winning the division though. I think it's probably going to be the Bears at this point. The Lions are 8-6. But I think they play the Bears in week 7. They've lost 2 to the Packers. So, I mean, who did the Lions? Yeah, Lions play Bears in week 18. So, is there still a shot for them to win their division, or are they locked out of it? I think they might be locked out of the division, but I feel like that would be the only real way. I don't know if they're making it as a wild card spot over Seattle, San Francisco, and Green Bay. Like, I don't think they're going to make it over there. I think the only real option is if the Bears have like a catastrophic slide and or the 49ers. That could work too. I mean, I trust the 49ers more, which is weird to say because of all their injuries, but like, I genuinely just believe Shanahan is that good of a coach. Like, he's a top 5 coach in the league, and he can't, like, I'll always believe that. I don't know. Speaking of San Francisco, they are number 11, moving down 4 spots. Kind of just by necessity, but I just feel like the other 10 teams are above them right now. But I still think they probably do make the playoffs. I do think, I don't know if they're necessarily a team that's going to go far in the playoffs because, like, I mean, if we look at who they've faced in the past couple of weeks, who have they faced? They obviously only faced the Titans. Like, that's not much of anything. Were they on a bye the week before? I think they were. Yeah, they were. Because, yeah. Then they played the Browns. So they've had Browns, bye, Titans in the last 3 weeks. Panthers. Like, they haven't played a good team in a while. Cardinals. Okay, they played the Rams. The last time they played a good team was the Rams in Week 10, and they, like, lost by a lot. So I'm not necessarily super high hopes for them. They play the Bears in Week 17, the Seahawks in Week 18, and the Colts Monday night this week. So, I don't know. I mean, I think they could beat the Colts, but, like, if they do lose out, I think the Lions still have a shot at the playoffs. So, I don't know, maybe. Number 10, I think another team that's kind of in the same region where they're probably not going to win the division, but, like, still probably making the playoffs is Green Bay. Obviously, the injury to Micah Parsons does hurt a lot. And from there, I don't think they're a team that can ride their defense to the Super Bowl anymore. And I just don't think Jordan Love is like a top 5 quarterback who's capable of like putting the team on his back, or at least he hasn't proven that he's able to do that. So I don't think they're making it to the Super Bowl or anything, but I think honestly the furthest I see him getting is the divisional round. I don't see him getting further than that. I'm not gonna lie. They moved down 5 spots this week, unfortunately. Number 9, we have the Chargers moving up a spot. Of all the AFC, like, middle-of-the-road teams, I mean, honestly, there isn't really a standout AFC team, I'm not going to lie. But, like, of all the AFC teams, I think the Chargers are the one that I have a little less confidence in. Just because, like, they've had some weird losses that they probably shouldn't have had. We're able to beat the Eagles, but again, Eagles are on a downslide. They are on, what's their win streak right now? Were they on also a bye? So, hold up here. Okay, so their last loss was against the Jaguars, where they got, like, blown out. That's the sort of losses that make me think maybe they're not the greatest team, but, like, they're still okay. I still think they're better than, like, Detroit, San Francisco, Green Bay. I think they have more of a faith in them than I would in them, or the other teams. Number 8, we've got Chicago moving up 4 spots, now the highest team in the NFC North. I still don't trust them because it feels like a lot of their wins have been against not very good teams. They have beaten the Bears, they lost to the Packers, and then they beat the Eagles, which, again, like, the Eagles are weird. I don't know what to really think of them. The Steelers win was okay, but again, it's still a team that's ranked below them in the power rankings right now. Barely beat the Vikings, barely beat the Giants. Like, I think they haven't beaten a team that's above them in the power rankings, at least recently, so I think this is an okay spot for them. Number 7, we have the largest faller of the week. We're number 1 last week, but now they're number 7. We've got New England. I said it before, if they lost this game to the Bills, I don't think they're making it past, like, the divisional round, and if they win this game against the Bills, they're my Super Bowl favorites. And again, they hadn't really beaten a super good, super, like, hot team until the Bills. And I think the Bills are going to be good no matter how you shake it. And right now, New England either they just haven't had an off game, or they are just not very good. And honestly, I think it's the latter. I don't think they're better than the Bills right now. I don't think they're a team that's making the Super Bowl. I could maybe see them making the championship game just because of how weird the AFC is, but I don't know. Number 6 and number 5, I'm going to put them right next to each other. They're both 2 AFC South teams, and they're both kind of underrated in my opinion right now. Number 6, we got Houston moving up 5 spots, and number 5, we have Jacksonville moving up 3 spots. Do these teams play each other in the rest of the season? I gotta see here now, because that is going to be a game that I want to watch. They do not play each other week 16, 17, or 18. So they've already played each other twice. I think the Jaguars won. Yeah, I think the Jaguars won most, like, I know the Jaguars won at least one, like, back in the early. I don't think that was the most recent time they played each other, though. I mean, if I look back here, it was, I guess they played each other, like, a while ago. Okay, so, no, Houston won in week 10, and then Jacksonville won in, like, week 3 or whatever it was. So they've split their season against each other. Either one of these teams can win the division. I think it's just going to depend on who's, like, the hotter team right now. I don't know their win streaks. I mean, I guess I could go and check. Both of them had a pretty good blowout win this time, and they're looking like pretty decent teams. Jacksonville won last week and the week before. So did Texans. So yeah, I'm trying to look for the last loss these teams had. They only beat the Cardinals by 3 in overtime. So yeah, okay. I'm still going through. So they're both on like 5-game win streaks. The last time the Jaguars lost was to the Texans, and the last time the Texans lost was the previous week to the Broncos. So I think this is a good place for them right now. I think they're top 6, top 5 teams, and I think they're better than a lot of these other teams right now, at least. Number 4, I've got Seattle, who does not move after last week again. I just think this is where they belong. They're a very solid team. I don't think they are the best of the best, though. I think, I would love to see a Rams-Seahawks championship game. We're also getting a Rams-Seahawks game this very night, so I'm definitely excited for that one. I don't know. I think whoever wins that might end up being the number 1 team next week, honestly, because I don't know what the other 2 teams in the 3 or 2 spot can do to push them up, but we'll see. Definitely Seattle could make a push for the number 1 seed in the NFC still, I believe. But I don't know. We'll see. They're a good team. Sam Darnold is being good, but I just feel like shades of last year. I mean, coming from Vikings fan territory, we hear about Sam Darnold all the time, and we're like, when is he going to show his true colors on the Seahawks, And I don't know when it's going to happen. He has had some stinker games this year, but I think overall he's been solid for them. And they've just been a good team in general that I believe can do well. I think they have the capability to make it all the way to the Super Bowl. I don't know if they're going to do that, but these are, I think, top 4 definitely, top 6 probably are my Super Bowl contenders. Honestly, Patriots are still a contender until they prove that their loss to the Bills wasn't just a really bad game for them. But I think, top 7 are my Super Bowl contenders right now. Number 3, we've got Buffalo moving up 3 spots after a much-needed win against division rival New England. This is, I think, about where they should be. They're always going to be good. Josh Allen's the 2nd best quarterback in the league. And he's the best that's going to be in the playoffs. So there's that. Are they guaranteed a playoff spot? I think they're guaranteed a playoff spot. I don't know, there's not a lot of other, I know that playoff clinchings usually happen. I don't know if they happen before or after eliminations. I think they happen after eliminations, but it's whatever. Buffalo, they're a good team. They're gonna do They're gonna do well. I think they have a great chance at making the AFC Championship again. And if they lose again in the AFC Championship, that would just be funny. I hope they do. I don't see them really. I mean, who are they facing? They're facing the Browns, the Eagles, which I guess, not now. Maybe not now, that'll be a hard game, and then the Jets. So at most, I see them losing one more game, and even then, I don't think they're going to lose one more. So I think 13-4, good record to end with for sure for them. I think very solid chance to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. And then at number 2, we have the current number 1 seed in the AFC, and staying at number 2 for the millionth consecutive week, because again, there's no reason that I have seen for them to move to number 1 yet, and that's the Denver Broncos. They remind me a lot of the Chiefs of last year. Very lucky in a lot of games. We're able to get a good win, and you know what? Like the Chiefs of last year, they are beating good teams, so I got to give them credit for that. And I don't think they're any lower than number 3. I would not I don't think putting them below number 3 on the list is makes sense in any context, but right now I just don't see them being the number 1, because I think there's just one team that's a little bit better than the Broncos right now, and that is the Los Angeles Rams, once again moving up from number 3 last week to number 1 this week. What did they do last week? Did they lose to... No, they didn't lose last week. They beat the Cardinals last week, and then they lost to the Panthers the previous week. Yeah, that was what was going on. They had their weird, dumb trap loss that everyone seems to have once in a while. But, it's something that y'all have, like, unless you're the Chiefs last year, obviously. But yeah. Either way, I think Rams are my current Super Bowl winner pick. And unless they like suffer a catastrophic failure to end the season, I don't think that's going to change as we go into the playoffs. They're facing Seattle, they're facing the Falcons, and they're facing the Cardinals. I think they could very well lose to Seattle. I don't see them losing the other two games, so I think 13-4 again is the best record, or the worst record I see for them, and I think they're definitely also my number one pick in the NFC. So yeah, we are now going to do game predictions for the 16 games of Week 16. First, we have Rams-Seahawks. This is my game of the week. This is the one I'm most excited for to watch. I'm going to go with the Rams, although I would not be surprised if Seahawks win, because I feel like they are going to be back with a vengeance. This is almost a battle for the number one seed in the NFC for me. I think the Rams are a little bit better of a team right now. I do want to see, where was Seattle's last loss? Because they beat the Falcons 2 weeks ago, beat the Vikings, shut them out. Was their last loss to the Rams? It might have been. Honestly, if it was, maybe I switched this up. Yeah, their last loss was to the Rams. I mean, they've been on a winning streak since then. I just feel like their loss last week makes me a bit concerned. I don't know, or their win last week makes me a bit concerned. It's kind of like the Broncos, where it's like a close one. Like the Rams have had all of their wins have been like they seem like a dominant team, and even if the other team has kept it close, they've still looked good. Like you scored 6 field goals and no touchdowns. Like what's going on here? Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna pick the Rams, but again, this could be a game that goes either way. Eagles Commanders. I'm gonna pick the Eagles. I think they need one more win to clinch the NFC West, their NFC East, and I think they can do it. Don't see much of a big problem there. Or have they already clinched the division? I think they might have, because Cowboys have the lowest chance to make the playoffs of anybody. I don't know. Packers Bears. Now, if Micah Parsons was not injured, I would probably pick Packers, but here I'm going to pick the Bears. I don't see the Bears having that generational slide that I would need from them in order for the Lions to make the playoffs, but yeah, I don't know. I think Bears are probably winning the NFC North at this point, so go with them. It's funny how good coaching impacts a team. Ben Johnson has just really turned that team around. They've been really good. Chargers Cowboys. I'm gonna pick. Feel like this could be a trap game for the Chargers. You know what? I'm going to pick the Cowboys because it'd be funny. Yeah, I'm going to just pick the Cowboys because, why not? Lol. Even though I think the Chargers are a better team, I think it'll be funny for the Cowboys to win. And I feel like it's something that, George Pickens would, want to do or something. I don't know. Vikings-Giants, battle of the eliminated teams. Who really cares about these teams at this point? But I guess I'm going to go Vikings, sure. JJ versus Jackson Dart, two of the coolest young kids, except JJ is not cool. I still think he's better than the Giants, though. Maybe not better than Dart, but Giants have just not been very good, and their one real strong point, their D-line, and then I think the Vikings have a pretty good O-line, so I don't know if that will affect it too much, but it's really going to depend if McCarthy will be good or if he will suck, because there is a chance of that. Bengals Dolphins. Interesting. I remember when these two teams were battling for Burrow, the number one overall pick for Burrow. And then a couple years later, Tua led the league in passing yards. They had the best offense in the league, and the Bengals made the Super Bowl the previous year. And then now they're back to basement dwellers again. It's funny how the league goes up and down. Every team kind of does that except the Chiefs, except for this year. Bengals Dolphins. I'm gonna go with. Now that Bengals are eliminated, I don't think they have any reason to win. But Quinn Ewers is starting for the Dolphins, I know, so that'll be interesting to see. I think it's your first game starting in the NFL. I don't really have confidence for that, so I think I'm gonna pick Bengals here. I honestly don't even know if the Bengals will even start Joe Burrow because they're eliminated. Buccaneers Panthers. Here you go, the battle of the NFC South. I think this one you got to go Panthers here. They've looked like a better team recently, so I'm gonna pick them. Jets, Saints, two of the most depressing franchises right now. I think I'm gonna go with the Saints. They're on a winning streak of one. Or is it two? There's no way it's two. There's no way they won last week as well. They did win last week as well. That's crazy. They're on a winning streak of two. That's wild. Yeah, I think they'll continue their winning streak. I think Tyler Shuck has been okay. So there you go. Bills and Browns. This one's pretty simple. Browns are like probably the worst team right now, so we're gonna go with Bills. Chiefs, Titans. Gardner Minshew versus Cam Ward. I still think, as bad as the Chiefs are, even without Mahomes, like, maybe just trying the new guys out will help. Like, now that we're eliminated, you can, like, try using guys like Jalen Royals. Maybe actually run the ball with Brashard Smith instead of just, like, using him for weird stuff. And maybe just try using this man as a normal receiver. I mean, honestly, probably it's best to just rest this guy because, like, he's injured. He's been injured all year, but, like, just trying using him as a normal receiver. I'm telling you, he can do so much better than Rice. I don't know, bro. But I'm picking Chiefs anyway. I still think they're better than the Titans. Jaguars, Broncos. This is an interesting game. I do believe I will be picking the Broncos here. Jaguars did decent, but the Broncos defense is, like, crazy. This is definitely a game where I could see the Broncos losing, but if they do win this one, and if they win it convincingly and the Rams lose, I think maybe the Broncos can be number one. It just depends. If the Seahawks look really good against the Rams, I think the Seahawks will be number one. I don't know. Falcons, Cardinals, Battle of the Redbirds. I don't know. I just feel like the Cardinals don't really have much. Falcons can be weird and do weird things like beat the Bills at times, so I'm going to go Falcons. Raiders, Texans. Raiders suck. We're going Texans. Steelers, Lions. I mean, this is kind of a game that both teams need. But I think Lions need it more, and I think Lions are a better team. So I'm going to go Lions. Patriots and Ravens. Another game that both teams kind of need. Based on how we've seen the Patriots thus far, I would say Patriots. But I don't know. The Ravens are a better team than, like, some of the teams that New England's been, like, blowing out. Like, aside from last week, they've played teams like who have they played? They played Giants, like, Bengals, and they almost lost to the Bengals, actually. You know what? I'm going to pick the Ravens. Why not? I think momentum is on their side. Momentum is not on the Patriots side, so I'm going to pick the Ravens, sure. Colts, 49ers, the last game of the week, Monday Night Football. Old Man Rivers versus Brock Purdy. I feel like this one could go either way, but I think 49ers are better right now, so I'll go 49ers here. So, those are your game picks, game predictions. You know what? I don't feel like doing a Chiefs. I mean, I can talk a little bit about the Chiefs. I mean, like, if this season has proven anything, it's that we need change, and we need change now. It's like, if we're going to continue to be among the NFL's elite, we're not guaranteed success next year. And that sucks. I really hate it. But it's true. We're not guaranteed success, and we need to get our priorities straight and make some changes, like, to the team, actually. And it starts with the coaching staff. Nagy's got to go. We need a new face. And Andy has got to get better at play calling. I know he's a great coach, but, like, it can be simultaneously true that he's a great coach and that he needs to change some stuff. Please keep Spags. I still think he's good, even if the defense has been weird this year. Yeah, get a new OC, get a new, like, pass game coordinator. I know, like, the Rams pass game coordinator is, like, being interviewed by people to be an OC, and I think he'd be really good. And then I think just position-wise, I still think the biggest things to draft or get would be running back, a pass catcher, although most people want it to be a receiver. I still think the receiver room can be talented enough if you give this man a chance. So I think you get, like, a tight end. So running back, tight end, maybe right tackle because Jawan Taylor's leaving, or at least he should be leaving this year. I think this is the last year of his contract. Re-sign McDuffie. Re-sign Leo Chanel. He's good. I know that they're on the last year of the contracts. Ship out Pacheco for sure. Trade him for like something. And then keep on Thornton as well. Thornton can be good. Thornton can be, I think, like Worthy, Rice, Thornton. That's a good 1, 2, 3. Like, I feel like those guys could be it. And like, yeah, I agree with using Thornton as a deep guy. I don't think he's the best deep guy. I think just use him as a regular receiver, please. And who knows? Maybe Jalen Royals is good. Maybe he's like the good new wide receiver 4. I don't know. And I don't know how much like longer Hollywood's going to stay on the team. I don't know if he's necessarily going to be here another year. I've got no idea about Juju, but like I feel like it's something where again we have a bunch of mid receivers and we don't have a real like star. And I think at this point Rice has like been chosen to take on the number 1 role. And he hasn't done it to, like, the best of his ability. He hasn't done it to the best of an NFL player's ability. Like, I think Rice has shown that he is not an above-average wide receiver 1. And at this point, the only guy on the roster who I think has the potential at all to be a above-average wide receiver 1 is Xavier Worthy. They're, like, I don't think Rice has it in him to be, a topper echelon. And maybe Worthy doesn't either. But at least he has I think he has a chance at being that. And just the fact that he has 0 drops this year is like, it's like making my point even clearer. Like, throw this guy the ball. He doesn't drop it like Rice does. So, I mean, that's all my things there. And then obviously I think we also need help at safety. I think if we don't re-sign Brian Cook especially, I think safety was a position that I was concerned about from like day 1 of this season. And I don't see a lot of people talking about it, but I do think we need safety help. And then obviously just D-line. So I think priority order, I think, for like draft and getting people would be running back at number 1, D-line at number 2. No, coaches at number 1, running back at number 2, D-line at number 3, tight end pass catcher at number 4, right guard at number 5, safety at number 6. Actually, no, you know what? Safety at number 5, right guard at number 6, because we do have Esapole. Like, I don't know if he's going to be a starter caliber, but like, we don't need to like take we don't need to take an O lineman in the first 2 rounds again. Like we have Josh Simmons and he should be fine. He should get up to speed, but like, just please take a running back in round 1. Take like Jeremiah Love or something. That'd be great. So yeah, that's about all I have to say for the Chiefs as of right now. And just like, Mahomes, I think the biggest thing with him is he's going to want to come back as soon as he possibly can. And for the first time ever, I might actually like agree with that. Because usually I think he rushes into stuff too fast and he like has risk of getting an injury. But now that he actually has gotten an injury, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like we need him now though. It's hard to say like whether we should like try to keep him out or like try to just like not necessarily. Either way, they're not going to rush the recovery. Like that's just not a smart decision. But like, if he's like almost able to come back week 1, but like if the estimate is saying like, oh, he'll come back by week 2, and if he just wants to be like, oh, I'll come back week 1, like I feel like we kind of need it, because if we don't do that, like what are we going to do without this man? Like he's done so much, and honestly, my only real complaint about him this year is he can't get the ball in a place where Worthy can even drop it. Like, the reason Worthy has such a bad, like, catch, like, ratio is because Mahomes, like, sometimes it's tracking. Sometimes I do agree. And sometimes it's the fact that just none of our receivers have great route running right now because, like, the coaching is bad. But, like, I do believe a major part of it is just Mahomes isn't as accurate on deep throws as he has been in years past. And I do believe I'm never going to doubt him again because of what he did in 2022 when Juju was the top receiver. Like, dude, imagine this team, but with the receivers we had in 2022, 2023. Like, we would suck. Like, at least we have Worthy. At least we have Rice. At least we have people that are kind of good. Like, I don't know, man. Just, I feel like we have the potential to go right back to where we were last year. We have the potential to pick right off where we left off, get the number 1 seed in the AFC again. But it's not guaranteed for the first time ever. And that really scares me. I believe in the Chiefs. I think we're going to be back in the playoffs next year for sure. I think we're going to be back. But I think as we know it, the days of going to Super Bowls every year is gonna be over unless we make some major changes. So that's about all I have to say for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. If you enjoy roller coasters, go sub to my other channel, Beyond the Drops. I will be posting a new video on that in a couple of weeks when I go back to Busch Gardens with some of my friends. And yeah, if you've enjoyed, remember to do all those things, and I will see you guys in another video. Goodbye.